Different, as they say. Really interesting to hear, I think, there around, I guess, how mobile phones are being used to notify emergency services of an incident in a completely different context. I'm going at the other extreme of that, and I'm just going to talk to you about some work we've been looking at within the Cabinet Office about public alerting. So how do agencies inform the public that something's gone wrong and they might need to do something to prevent themselves from becoming a victim of that. So I'm just going to take you through some of what we've been up to, start with some of the definition of how we see alerting. We just heard there Dave use a different phrase for it, so I just want to clarify what I mean about it when I speak about it, give you a quick overview of some of the work that we did, and then some of our findings, and then some of our next steps. So in terms of how we're defining alerting, for us this is about telling other people that something has gone wrong. We can see that as most things, that's some both hard and soft aspects to that. There's some process in there. Who activates such a system? How does it work? Do incident commanders know what communications tools they have available to them to get messages out there quickly and effectively? And actually, do we know what information that we actually want to tell people to what it is that we might need them to do? How is it that they can hopefully take some action to prevent themselves becoming a serious victim? Couple of outcomes there that hopefully, in our view, a successful alert system should yield. Something about reduced human impact. So this is about public taking some positive action, hopefully, to limit the impact of the emergency on themselves, and also a more effective response more generally, as responders can focus some of their attention on those perhaps who can't look after themselves, rather than some of the mass people. I was hoping to play a couple of video clips here, but IT has defeated me at such a glorious ICT conference as this. Then that was, I guess, to be the case. I just wanted to give you a bit of a flavour for how other countries have approached this problem. In particular, I was going to display some video clips from the Netherlands and also from Australia, who have also grappled with this type of question as well. How is it that we, as public agencies, can get messages out to the public very quickly? So I can't show you the video clips. You're more than welcome to Google them, or any other search provider, should you so wish, to have a look at them. So I'll cover the aspects, but I'm afraid I can't actually show you the videos. So in terms of the actual, I guess, some of the problems that we're trying to face and that we're trying to have a look at trying to do something about it, we've got a problem with, I guess our real problem is speed. How is it that we can deliver messages very, very quickly to lots of people in an area that might be affected by that major incident, whatever that might be? And we've set ourselves a target of less than 15 minutes from decision or recognition that we need to send an alert message through to that start to be delivered by whomever. So pretty tight timeframes there to get the system sorted, get it up and running, and step into gear. We've got issues around public apathy, so where a lot of responders, a lot of police services, local authorities, etc., already have systems in place to be able to pass messages on to the public. Sign-up rates tend to be quite low, and suggest they're well less than 1% of the total population in that area. That, for us, is not a critical enough mass to be able to get that message out, and people hopefully to start to trust and believe it. Potentially an issue around people on the move. How do we get those people who are commuting to or from work out for the day, visiting in an unfamiliar area? They might well sign up for those systems that are available, but actually if they're not there at their home or registered addresses, they might not receive those messages. And I guess a good example of that is the bulk of the Environment Agency's floodline warning direct service, where we automatically, or the system automatically enrolls those who live in floodplains to call their landlines of those addresses. If you happen not to be at home during that incident, then unfortunately at the moment you wouldn't receive that alert unless you have registered to receive it in other forms. We recognise that people are communicating differently. I mean, everybody's aware of the decline of landlines, and the fewer people have landlines going into their houses. Even fewer people actually have phones connected to the landlines going to the houses. So again, that's an issue for us. Something about delays around network congestion, and also some of the branding across the country, leading to different issues. So in terms of what we're actually trying to look at, actually we're trying to, we've come up with a solution to this to try to look at a nationally recognised mobile alerting system. This is nationally recognised. It is able to deliver messages direct to people's mobile devices who happen to be in the area at a time, which for us is the crucial aspect. And we think that the mobile network and the characteristics and the properties inherent within that would enable us to be able to do that. And had I shown you the video clips, you would have also seen that internationally, I think this is recognised as the way forward. So in terms of what we've actually done, as I say, we've done a series of trials to have a look at these, and I'm delighted that Chris has come yet again to listen to a presentation who's closely involved in some of our work. So we've worked very closely with a number of emergency planning areas across the country, local resilience forums, up in North Yorkshire, Glasgow, and also in Suffolk, where Chris is from. So he can give you from his perspective, should you wish to speak to him later. We've also paired up with the three biggest mobile network operators in the UK, Everything Everywhere, or EE, as they like to be known now, O2, Telefonica, and also Vodafone, to run these trials in partnership with them, together with the local planning areas in that area. We've run a series of different trials looking at different technologies and how we could deliver those messages across to the public. We're aware that different people internationally have used different techniques. So cell broadcasting, that would have been the Netherlands clip that you might have seen. I shan't go into the technical details here, but please grab me this afternoon or tomorrow. I'll also be around. I'll be happy to talk to you in a bit more detail about that. We also tried to run scenarios against these as well to enable emergency responders to see how this might work, understand what implications there might be for their own command and control processes and other bits and pieces. So that's why we also got the scenarios running alongside them as well. Up in Glasgow, we ran a trial with O2 Telefonica. We looked at, in that scenario, we looked at a part city centre evacuation following unexploded ordnance from the Second World War. We used a particular technique there called location-based SMS, using geofences. Again, happy to talk about the technical details later, a bit shorter time at the moment. We ran that in October, and then finally a third trial in Suffolk with Chris, again looking at an SMS type technology, slightly less automated than the one we ran in Glasgow, and again a similarly wide area incident where we looked at having an initial incident area which then expanded, and then how we managed to deal with that on a communications basis. So in terms of what we found out, actually looking at those different technology sets that we used, that we looked at in the trial, actually for us, the way it came out was that location-based SMS seems to be the preferred solution. In our view, it makes better use of existing MNO infrastructure, mobile network operators, MNO, apologies for the creeping in the acronyms. So therefore, in our view, offers a better value for money. And for us, one of the other major benefits of that technology is everybody knows what SMS messages are. Everybody's phone is configured to receive those. Everybody knows what to do when they receive one. Whereas with some of the cell broadcast devices that are out there, configuration is difficult. You have to go into very confused menus called advanced settings and other bits and pieces, which instantly, I think, put general members of the public off from wanting to do that. So therefore, the configuration is difficult, and the roadmap, to me at least, seems unclear at the moment as to how that's going to improve in future devices. So for us, we want that system to be live and operational from day one, so the most handsets people in that area can receive that message from day one, as opposed to potentially not receiving that message. For us, that's a big failure indicator. Really strong positive feedback from the responders that we worked with in our trials. Very keen to see the implementation of such a system. We've developed a whole series of draft protocols about how such a system might operate, who might make a decision to activate that alert message, and just some of the general day-to-day management system security type issues as well. And actually, we also spent a lot of work understanding the public's expectation and experiences of such a system as well. So we had quite a thorough, what we'd like to think was a comprehensive public analysis, public evaluation aspect to this work as well. We ran a series of focus groups across the 3 sites, something like a total of over 100 participants in those. We had a survey, we provided the link to as part of the messaging that we sent out, and we had about 500 responses to that, as well as a further kind of UK representative sample of around 1,000 people and some very strong indications there of acceptance and willing to get involved in that. If you want to find out more, you're more than welcome to. We published our report on Friday. I'm afraid to say that the actual link I've put there is slightly incorrect, but the short link does nevertheless work. It just takes you to a slightly different page. You'll have to go back up a level to find it. Unfortunately, our webmaster has displayed it on a slightly different page, which was after I prepared this presentation. But if you go to there, then you should be able to find it. That's not an issue. In terms of our next steps, what we're up to now is we're working quite closely again with the mobile operators to think about how such a system might well be implemented within their networks, and a real drive really to push this on now to see how we could push this forward. I think it's just also worth highlighting, noting that we certainly don't see this system as replacing any of the wide range of tools that responders already have in their organisations. We're only looking to enhance that. We certainly wouldn't expect such a system to have 100% availability. Stuff happens to the mobile networks as it does with every other channel or method of message delivery. So we wouldn't want to give that level of guarantee, but we think this is a significant step change potentially to our current alerting capabilities within the UK as we move forward.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Unusual.